Well, as the commentator said so eloquently, reality for Everton fans is hitting really hard. And let me just say this. Our goalkeeper, Alisson, disgraced what he does there at the end, falling down to the ground. I don't want any of my keepers ever for Liverpool to do such a thing. It takes the spirit of the game and just throws it, just does away with it and just throws it in the bin. And that's a disgrace. So I don't want any of my keepers ever doing that again. That was appalling. But shout out Everton. I think that's a wrap for them. I think that's that just does them. You know, Burnley, don't they have a gang of games in hand? I mean, I could be wrong on that, but them winning today against Wolves, big win for them. Look, Everton, they came, they saw, and they sprinkled a little bit of that, what's the kid's name, Gordon on top. You know, they for the first hour, that's a game that they're happy to be in. A draw is something they would have killed for today if they can get it. And they made the game how they wanted to make it. It was almost like Atletico Madrid English style. You know what I mean? So they did what they had to do, what they wanted to do for the most part. And this is a game. At the end of the day, you know, it kind of adds up with the stats. But for that first hour, some of those stats of possession and all that doesn't really mean a lot unless you do something with it. We decided to go ahead and do something with it. Shout out to Robertson, back post. And shout out for Origi just getting on and being part of it, man. You know, getting a goal, setting up Salah for assists. Divock Origi deserves everything he has coming to him in his life as a person and particularly as a player. And it's going to be hard to see him leave, but I don't think I'll ever root for a former Liverpool player like I'm going to root for Origi going over to, I think it's Milan, going over to play ball in Serie A. But he does it every time. He does it every time. Everton is a big stage for him. Every time we played him, and it was good to see him come on. And then Diaz again, just giving your boy Seamus Coleman the shakes, the jukes, and just being a part of it. So look, made the changes. The changes were good. That could be a good preview for what we're going to see against Villarreal. I won't begin to act as if I know how they're going to play or am very even familiar with how they play. Give me 1 second. So, you know, that could be a preview, a warning shot, if you will, to see what we're going to face against Villarreal. I brought up Atletico Madrid earlier to say that's how Everton played in terms of just the dark arts, if we can call it that, the time wasting, the rolling around on the ground. And the thing with your boy Richarlison is that, who I'll get to him in a second, but just on this note, you know, the guy, he cries wolf so many damn times. I think one of those moments where he hurt his ankle, it looked like he was hurt from the instant replay. But a lot of the other times, just, you know, and then the header, then he falls down. I don't know, is it hot? You know, is that a concussion thing? I don't know. But the guy flops and twists all the time. So if something is serious, you just don't know. And that plays a trick on the ref's mind too. So, you know, a lot of diving from Gordon all day today probably could have been sent off with an array of different style dives. Maybe there's a competition for that he can try out for. But, I mean, he was giving you just different styles of diving in football. And that's just too much. That's too much for me to see. You know, kids are watching this game, and no kid should see that as an example. It's terrible. It's appalling. So, 2-0, look, we keep marching on. I love this damn team. I love this team. We found a way. And when you got to make a change, you got to make a change. So shout out to Klopp. Made a change. None of the changes were anything I was disappointed with. I was disappointed, speaking of the word disappointment. Mane in the first half puts his hand on at least two of their players' faces. I think it's Colgate, hard to control, and I think the other guy was Allen. So you can't be doing that. We got so much we're fighting for. We cannot afford to lose you. The ref today had a lot to see and a lot of decisions to make. And I think for the most part, he did okay with everything going on. But it was a typical derby for that first 60 minutes, and you love every bit of it. And look, I've always said it. Simeone is after Klopp, for me, Simeone. I know a lot of people look great. Look, you do what you got to do to get a result. And you could say, well, Atletico Madrid have better players and they could be playing a better style ball, but that's not what the manager wants to do. That's his mantra. That's what he wants to do. And for the most part, for a side in La Liga who's usually fighting with Barcelona and Madrid, I think they've done pretty well while he's been there. So definitely not comparing him to this guy that's managing Everton, but for this game, he went out there with a game plan, and again, for an hour, they did pretty well, But how long can you hold up with that? And they couldn't do it that much longer. Robertson and Divock here. I gotta hear this interview and rewind it back. But there's a moment there as a Liverpool fan where you think, surely not this Everton team. As the time ticks, but it was so early in that second half, and it was so key to get that early goal and then try to fight for another one to wrap it up fully. And we ended up getting that, of course. But we're going to go back to Richarlison real quick and then back to the Mighty Reds. But I think Richarlison could be a far better player than we even see. And you've seen moments, not a whole lot against us, but just in general, if you watch highlights of him, there's something there. And, not just because he's Brazilian, but the boy can play. But he's so busy doing so many other goofy, silly nonsense and just losing his mind doing things. The kick on Henderson there. Look, it's a derby and there was some dirty things going on. If we look back at the tape, you probably could see from both. Off the top of my head, I mentioned Mane with the smoosh in the face and all that. That's not necessarily dirty, but, it could be looked at as foul play. So, and I love every bit of the sort of what a derby brings, but, it's ironic, I guess, or maybe not so ironic that Klopp talked about it in the pre-match, about just what's being fair and how you can go over the edge and kind of keeping things in the harmony of the game in the way that's supposed to move on. So just a big result, a really big result. And again, Origi's going to go down as, I don't know. The statue thing started off as a joke, but this guy, the closer, Origi the closer. He did it in the Champions League final against Spurs. Did it here. This is going to come back to be a very pivot. We talk about that in all of these seasons because every season, bar last season, of course, but it's one of those things where you're counting every game, literally, and what you can get out of it, what it could mean, and totality of a season. So, Origi, man, just my brother, did it again, and closed it out nicely. Everybody's fit. Hopefully, there's no, residual effects, knocks, whatever that happen that resurface and come up for any games in the future, but still everything there, still everything to play for in the league, and just probably able to just kind of weather that storm, man. Just Everton played the game that they want in that first half, and a lot of us got out of character. And to be mentality monsters, that can't just be a catchphrase. The mentality is so far from being a monster when you're putting your hands in players' face off the ball. I know there's a bunch of things going on, some late stuff coming in and whatever, but you got to keep your head in a game like this. That's what Everton want. And so shout out to Klopp again for getting Mane up off there. But yeah, real slugfest. We came out on top, and sayonara to the blue side over there. Merseyside business. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Much love to everybody. Stay safe. Be good to yourself. Love your family. See you next time.